Hi, Freds. Hello. I'm in the sauna right now because it's just the thing that's healing me at this time. So you might see me start to turn red and sweat depending on how long this video goes. But I just want to share what I've been learning, what I'm learning currently. Oh, you know that when you breathe in that sauna air, it's so hot. So, oh my God, I'm so frustrated, you guys. I mean, sorry, I'm not going to look cute in this video because I just want to be comfortable. I am so frustrated. Like coming back from Tulum, Mexico to the US, Ohio no less. Don't get me wrong, I love my country, I love my state. But it literally feels like I just descended back into madness. And I'm not even really doing anything. It's just the vibe, it's just the energy. It's really crazy, you know, to actually experience it for yourself. If anybody's left and came back, I don't know. I just feel so messed up. Truly, so messed up, which is unfortunate because I really don't want to be messed up, but it is what it is. So what am I learning? Learning how to navigate an intense level of frustration. Something that I feel like I haven't really felt before. It's interesting. I just feel so frustrated and annoyed and beyond done with a lot of things in my life. And, you know, the frustration is valid. And I know it's gonna, as I sit with it, transmute into something necessary that's good for me and for all. It's kind of feels like I'm coming out of this coping mechanism I've been in where, oh, everything's fine. Yeah, everything is fine, but it's not fine. You know, at the same time, there's so many things. There's so many, like, you know, there's just a lot of things in my life. Relationships, patterns, ways of being, habits, locations that it's just, it's so excruciating for me to even play in them anymore. And for a long time, I was just saying, I'm kind of person, I come from a long line of beasts of burden. So, and maybe you'll relate to this listening, everything seems to be that balance, that middle path, you know, allowing yourself to have, or even the triangle, the active force, the passive force, and the neutralizing force being all in balance. But something that's been so out of balance for me is, and now I'm really reconciling it at all costs, is being way too patient and tolerant for shit. Oh my God, just saying that out loud feels so good. And it's still so frustrating because, like, coming back to my life in the US, it's just really highlighting all these areas that I'm really no longer fitting into at all. And yet the path forward is not really clear for me, you know. I know the steps I need to take, but it just feels, it's just a weird puzzle that I haven't ever been in quite like this yet. But, you know, I have faith, but it's just, the frustration of it is starting to come out. But my point is, having a way too high tolerance and patience for bullshit. Okay, you know, it's definitely a good thing to have tolerance and patience in life. If you don't have tolerance and patience, you're just going to be triggered by everything, and you're always going to be trying to seek, like, pleasure, and you're just going to be ridiculous. You know, it's, again, you have to find a balance. You have to be able to face the shit in your life that's not comfortable without constantly, you know, making a big dramatic scene about it. At least that's where I'm at. Like, I think that's an important skill, or at least it has been in my life, is just being able to face things or bear things. Again, that's like a deep pattern for me and my family, is like, but taking it to the extreme, like enduring things that you really don't need to endure. You think you do, but all it does is it's just causing you suffering. And there's a certain point where you're just almost a fool to not be changing the situation for yourself, because you're so convinced for whatever reason that you have to endure so much pain. You need to be insanely patient and tolerant to abuse, essentially, whether it's the abuse of someone else or the abuse of yourself. So I'm kind of, right now, I'm finding that balance between not coping with this delusional unconscious identity I've had, where I'm just, everything's fine, everything's on fire, but everything's fine, everything's on fire, it's killing me, but it's fine. Between that and actually making the necessary changes to be better and to make life better, to have faith that I know I deserve more and I'm worthy of more. But the reason that's challenging for people like me, and maybe people listening, especially if you're I often feel like I'm talking to the empaths, that's what I call them, people that are like very empathic, it's hard, it's like, it's such a deep pattern to want to people please and have, these things. Because a lot of times when it comes time to change, that change, most likely, in fact, actually, certainly, in one way or another, it's not just going to affect you, it's going to affect the people in your life. And they might not like it, and it's easy to say that, but it's a lot harder once, you're really in it, or you're really in the subtleties. And because life is life, it's going to test you where you're most weak. It's going to test you where you're most haven't learned enough, basically, which usually is not even personally you. It comes down to just whatever you've been programmed with deeply, whatever your pain and trauma is, whatever your lineages, challenges have been. So for me, that's really letting go of a lot of dynamics in relationships with people I love, that I care about, that I don't consider bad people at all. In fact, I have a lot of love and honor and gratitude for them. But the changes I have to make in my life, if I'm going to step into my destiny instead of get swallowed up by fate, the changes that I have to make, the choices I have to make, are going to be upsetting to people. And it's not because they're bad or I'm doing anything hurtful. It's just me stepping into my power, stepping into what's truly best for me now, letting go of patterns of trying to rescue people that do not want to be rescued, all these kinds of things. That's kind of the challenge. That's the challenge that I'm at right now. And that I'm navigating as gracefully as I can, while I'm also creating other things in my life and trying to connect all the dots between, the art and the business that I'm creating with my spiritual practice, with my day-to-day relationships and life. And it's definitely been quite a journey. But I had a feeling, it would be like this. Because there's something really magical about Tulum, Mexico. Highly recommend going. I definitely want to return.